Hey everybody, how you doing? There is a school of thought that Shang Tao could come back and overtake Lauren Taylor in the Oakland Mayoral election. Now, in the unlikely event that happens, you can replay this again and again and again and make fun of me. That's fine. But if you go through the ranked choice voting rounds, you don't find a common pattern of Shang Tao getting the majority or even the most ballots from other candidates, save for two examples. Peter Liu, and I would surmise because they're both Asian and therefore draw the same demographic interest, and Alyssa Victory because they did team up. But Alyssa's overall vote throw off is not great enough to even produce the possibility. What do I mean by that? It's another way of saying that Alyssa didn't get enough votes to be the person you would expect to put her over. That's what I mean. And so, yeah, that's what I mean. And so, the common pattern among the candidates has been this: if you're black, you draw black support, and what happens is that, so because of that, if you choose someone black as your first choice, you're more likely to choose someone black or Latino as your second choice. All right. And there's only one Latino, and that's Ignacio. But there are the vast majority of candidates are black. All right. So it's one thing to say, oh, there are only 2,000 votes that separate them. But to think that Shang is going to pop up with this enormous number of votes that's going to put her over, I can't see it. It's one thing to say it, but when you start looking at the distribution, there's nothing that indicates that could happen. Nothing. It's a different pattern than when Don Parada, Gene Kwan, and Rebecca Kaplan ran. You have to remember something. Rebecca Kaplan and Gene Kwan not only teamed up, they had a roughly equal number of votes, first place to start with, okay? And Gene was drawing the majority of second place votes. But it wasn't like Rebecca had nothing to contribute to Gene and vice versa. When you look at this election, the only hope for Sheng is if she draws the majority of votes away from Lauren, and that is not the pattern. They didn't team up. And not yet, Lauren directed his supporters to help Treva. Okay? So there isn't any pattern that suggests the possibility that Shang could overtake Lauren. It's just not there. Now, the question is, how well can Ignacio do? Oh, and something else, too. I keep hearing this reference, just a side note. I keep hearing this reference to coal money. It's a stupid reference. Okay? It's a stupid reference because, first of all, it has to do with the Oakland Bulk and Oversized Terminal development, not building a coal terminal, but a bulk terminal, which can carry different commodities. Coal, it just so happens, is the commodity that is most in demand. It is in high worldwide demand. But iron ore is 7 times dirtier. And there's no ban for it because Tom Steyer didn't direct his money toward it to have media companies thinking a certain way, or media organizations or people, okay, who would then put out this pap about something they knew nothing about. Like this whole jazz about covered rail cars and causing, I can't believe I saw it, causing explosions from coal dust. That came from a consultant who was hired by Dan Cobb who didn't want the doggone thing built. That's where that came from. Wow. Anyway, I just want to get that out there, though. I don't expect at all the pattern to change. And Lauren's our mayor of Oakland. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com.